Hi, I'm Angified. I started Angified Presents.
We share the love of music.
It has been medicine and therapy. Nothing else worked.
It has saved many of us. With mental health, we need to open our eyes.
Hurt people.
We ask that you listen, comprehend, and relate with your ears.
Form that heart of unity and one.
We share on this stage.
Statistics, feelings,
And ourselves.
we stand with the belief to be you, to be heard, and to be original.
We all may be different, with opinions and beliefs.
At the end of the day, we are all brothers and sisters.
We are family.
We ask that you join us in a magical journey with artists from around the world. Open your minds. Let in the love.
And listen with your hearts.
We all want a better tomorrow. Be one.
Communicate and look out for one another. And then, and only then, will you find the world.
We will find peace in all the world.
You'll find the world. And you will find in this shining world. He was among us in every boy and girl. Many have been broken, red hearts turn black. Love will melt the ice and turn it back, and you will find the world. You will find the world. You will find the world. And when you find a place called home, where everyone is free to roam, a whole new world, a better place for our children's futures at stake. And you'll find, with music in your soul, laughter in your hearts, together we can grow a better place, with love in us all. And you will find, together we can save it all. And you will find a place called home, where everyone is free
Let's talk about warming up. Warming up is one of the things that I see so many people do wrong, whether they're warming up their voice or they're warming up their guitar playing, really. The reason that so many people get this wrong is they tend to jump into warm-ups and overdo it. They set their voice up for fatigue before they even start singing what they really want to sing. They set their guitar playing up for stiffness or overanalyze what they're practicing to the point of practically paralyzing themselves, causing frustration. So in this video, I'm going to show you the way that I almost always warm up. And it's a warm-up that gets my voice ready to go, it gets my guitar playing ready to go, and it gets my ear ready to go. And I engage musically first thing, downplaying the need to do certain techniques or certain things to warm up my voice. So I'm excited to show you this. Let's get started. So I don't practice scales, I don't do exercises or sequences on the guitar to warm up. Not to say that I haven't done those things in the past, but I found that this way of warming up as a holistic musical warm-up is really the best way to go. So here it is. Before I do anything, I will take my voice and I will identify a soft onset versus a hard onset. And the difference there is, this is a hard onset. A. There's no sound, and then there's sound. And it's this really abrupt thing that happens with your voice. A. That's a hard onset. Soft would be this. A. Hard. A. Identifying that at the beginning of your warm-ups, every single time, is really important in setting your voice up for success. A lot of times when we're speaking, we use a lot more hard onsets than we think we do, which really tires out your voice. It sets your voice up, if you're going to start singing, it sets your voice up for some really quick fatigue. Whereas if you're consciously thinking about soft onsets, it's the difference between clapping and putting your hands together, using the same pressure when they come together. After a while of a lot of clapping, your hands start to feel it. Although your hands are a lot more durable than your vocal cords. So that's the first thing I start to do. And I just go through slightly different vowels. A, E, O. Like that. Then I don't spend much time on that. I just get my bearings, making sure that I'm using soft onsets. After that, I bring the guitar in and I choose a scale. Now, I don't work the scale. I don't exercise the scale. I muse with it. I exchange improvisational conversation with my guitar using different words that I think up. I'm serious. This is how I warm up before every time I perform, before every time I record. It grounds me in pitch. It creates a musical framework for me to go forward, which I'll talk more about here in a second. But here's how I work it. That I had a hard onset. Oh, there was a soft onset. free, free. 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 So I use the word oh and free, and I am imitating musings that come out in basically a blues scale or pentatonic scale in the key of A. Of course, you can choose whatever register works for you. And a lot of times I'll use the word love, and I'll do the same thing. And I get a little bit more complex. I stretch my range a little bit more. But the bottom line here is I am engaging musically. I'm not thinking so much about, I got to finish this exercise and do this just right. I'm actually going through a process of relaxing and getting my mind musically focused. This is polar opposite of, I love to sing, I love to sing, I love to sing, I love, doing stuff like that where you end up, as you're going higher, oh, can I hit that note? Oh, am I going to get that one? Oh, and then you start tensing up and it doesn't work. You start tensing before you're even loose enough to really sing because you're mentally defeating yourself. So by not giving yourself this, oh, I got to warm up my entire range, I got to do it systematically, you're setting yourself up mentally to make music, which is what you're warming up for. And I'm telling you, this way of warming up always works. The other way leaves me feeling tense. Love. Some hard onsets there, but at least it was on purpose, for phrasing reasons. Love. 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 Whoa, I love. Going to O. Now you might be thinking, especially with those last few phrases that I was imitating, how are you supposed to do that? How are you supposed to be that agile with your voice? And you might be tempted to pressure yourself. Don't do that. Try, though, to kind of let it happen. And just, nobody's listening. This is your warm-up. Play a little something on the guitar that's musical, interesting, and has some attitude, but also has some articulation. And see what comes out in your voice. Experiment. Use your warm-up as an opportunity to experiment. as a way to discover certain things about your voice. It doesn't matter if it doesn't come out exactly the same. It didn't come out exactly the same when I was doing it either. And like I said earlier, this is not only a great way for me to warm up my voice, but it's also a great way for me to warm up in my guitar playing and in my ear. Because I am taking something that I'm playing on my guitar, conceptualizing with my ear, playing it, and then I'm going to my voice. I'm challenging my voice to do something that I can do with my guitar. But because I know that I'm following my guitar playing with my voice, I have to be extra vocal on my instrument. So it's an exercise in phrasing. It's an exercise in coaxing your ear to work between your guitar and your voice. This is something that is so valuable and will help you be so much more musical when you connect your voice and your guitar. This is by far the best way that I've found to warm up my voice, my guitar playing, and my ear, my musical passions going into whatever I'm doing. And I really have ditched the scale sequence warm-ups or, the rigorous strumming arm sorts of things or, range extending sorts of things that I used to do with my voice. It's far better if I just get in and kind of relax and start getting lost in something musical as I'm getting my physical voice and fingers engaged in music. If you want to take things further with your voice, your guitar playing, and your ear, be sure to join my free vocal course listed below. We'll see you for more. Hey, Chris Liepe here. I want to talk in this video about the top 3 mistakes I see most beginner singers make. And while I use the word beginner, I really mean most singers, even if they don't consider themselves beginners. Maybe people who are singing on a regular basis, singing out, they still make these mistakes. And there are many of them, but there are 3 that are really glaring. And these 3 flubs create a downward spiral of fear, intimidation, pain, injury, all these things that keep singers from truly singing out the way they want to. It's not pretty or fun at all. So if you can identify these 3 things, these 3 mistakes that a lot of singers, particularly beginners, make in your own voice, in your own singing patterns, you're going to go a long way to singing more successfully and more freely. Starting with number 3, singers often try to get their power, their aggression, their dynamics from the wrong place. How many times have you either seen or felt this sort of thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1. I'm not mocking anybody, but I am showing what certainly I did for many years, and certainly what I see a lot of people doing. As they try to get higher and louder, they are not focusing their energy in the right place. It becomes this battle of the neck where they think that by lifting like this when they go higher or doing this when they go lower, that the energy behind that is helping them when it's actually doing just the opposite. So, okay, people do this wrong when they're going higher or lower, but they also do this when they're even just trying to get louder at a certain pitch. Like, let's say you're singing in the car and ooh, you can sing at kind of a soft volume that note, but then they try to get into it. Ooh, 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 ooh. Same thing happens. Jaw tightens, neck tightens, and they might get a little louder, but it sounds bad, kind of strained. It doesn't sound powerful. It doesn't sound free. So what do you do about it? Take your energy off from here and above and focus it from here down. And I really mean down. poop muscles. If you can focus your energy when you start getting louder and higher towards the ground, the same muscles that you use to push out gas or to have a bowel movement, you're going to be amazed at the amount of power that unconsciously comes up. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 7, 6, 5. Whoa! Notice, I don't know, I probably clipped. Notice that I got so loud, so aggressive, and I didn't move at all like this. Let's go down the other way. 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1. Not 1, 1, 1, 1. And it's a mental exercise. That's really all it is. As I reach a point to where I feel like I need more energy, I bear down. I bear down on my lower abdominal muscles, that same sensation that happens when I'm pushing something out the other end. That is what helps me get the power that comes up this way. By bearing down, power comes up. Mistake number 2. Singers are often not familiar with their comfortable range. What can you hit comfortably without straining? Of course, that'll change if you solve problem number 3. But what are your notes? What are your most comfortable notes? What are your sweet spot notes? You should know those so that when you're singing a song and you know what key it's in and you know the intervals that are happening in the song, you can sing in a way and in a register and in a tone that fits your voice as well as the song. My recommendation, this is what I've used for years, is to identify, say you've got a song in the key of G. Identify the root and the fifth. Can you sing the root and the fifth? And is the fifth a powerful, comfortable feeling note? Let's say you're singing the key of G. That fifth is D. Yeah. Oh. What about E? Yeah. 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5. If you can go around to different keys and identify what your voice feels like with the 1 and the 5, you're going to get a better understanding of how your voice is going to react to any song and over your comfortable range. That's the best way to get familiar with how your voice works in different settings. And the number one mistake that I see and hear people making is, and they'll admit it to me, that they are trying to sound like someone else. They really like the style of vocal person X over here, a famous singer that they like, a band that they like. They're trying to sound like that person. Now, you say, wait a minute. Didn't you do a video on how to sing like Chris Cornell, like another singer? Yes. Let me clarify, because I enjoy pulling attributes from other vocalists and injecting them into my voice. That's very different than trying to sing like someone else in the following way. If you haven't discovered how to use your voice properly, if you haven't discovered how it feels to sing with the right support system, to explore what your voice does naturally and the sounds and tones that you can get out of your own voice, if you haven't taken the time to thoroughly go through the process of introspection to really get that, and you start with, oh, I really like to sound like Alison Krauss, or I really like the sound of Steven Tyler. I want to sound just like that. If you go there first, see, that's not how they did it. They did it by experimenting with their own voice and developing their own sound, by discovering their voice. You can't pull from other good qualities of other singers without first going through the intense process, the intensely introspective process of discovering your own voice. So really, the main mistake here is that people try to start sounding like someone else before they've done the homework and before they've gone through the experience of being themselves first. So you must be yourself first. When you get this backward and you use someone else as your role model without having that experience of discovering your voice first, you end up doing all sorts of weird things to try to imitate their sound, all sorts of things that lead to tension, injury, fatigue. One of the main things that people do they'll swallow vowels. They'll sing back here or put their resonance in the wrong place. A lot of singers in the 90s had that sort of natural sound anyway. And when people started trying to imitate that, they drastically limited their range and hurt themselves. So don't do that. The other thing that it can do is it can cause you to not only pronounce vowels incorrectly, but it can cause you to go for tones and sounds that you think they're doing one thing to get that sound, but they're actually doing another very different thing. Case in point, if you hear someone with a lot of breakup in their voice, you might be tempted, to engage that sort of clearing throat sort of sound. Yeah! Personally, I don't like that sound much, but that's a broken up sound. And that way of singing is actually very difficult on the vocal cords. It hurts almost. But to do the same thing with the correct support system, yeah, 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 get a little bit, you get a cleaner sound, but you still get a little bit of breakup and a lot of aggression. That doesn't hurt at all. And you're still getting a powerful sound. So the mistake here again is that people tend to put the sound before the feel. And to solve the greatest mistake that beginners and a lot of singers make, which is trying to sound like someone else, to solve that, you have to put feel before sound. Get things so that everything feels right in the context of your whole range, in the context of your dynamics, and then let sound happen. Don't try to make sound happen. That's where you have to start. I love making videos like this. If you have any questions, please leave the questions below. Be sure to join my free singing course linked below if you want to take your singing to another level. And as you have questions, I'll do more videos for you, helping you free your voice as well. Chris Liepe here. We're talking about confidence versus excellence when it comes to singing and how the two words and the two concepts can work against each other quite a bit. There are a lot of vocalists who have this mindset about their voice. Oh, I can't sing. Oh, I'll never be able to sing. Whenever I open my mouth, it sounds terrible. They have that sort of mindset, and maybe they don't want to sing at all. Then there are the other people who want to sing, but have a similar attitude towards their voice. I'm no good. I'm not good enough to sing like I want to sing. And my answer to that is always the same. Your problem, if you feel that way, is not that you lack excellence. It's not that you're not good enough. It's that you're not confident enough. Let me explain a little bit more, and then we're going to apply this with our good old friend, the acoustic guitar. Take someone like Bono, for example. When you close your eyes and you listen to his singing, do you hear excellence first, or do you hear confidence first? Check out live stuff from Bono, particularly older live stuff, like the Live at Red Rocks DVD, if you can get a hold of that. He is insanely confident But you know what? He's not hitting all the pitches well all the time. He has kind of this tone that it's far more about showmanship than it is accuracy in his singing. Most rock singers, particularly if you watch them live, are that way. And we as singers confuse technical proficiency with confidence. It's really interesting to think about, but it's so true. If you go over your favorite vocalists in your mind, certainly there are some vocalists that are extremely proficient, extremely excellent and inspiring, but they didn't get there by pursuing anything but confidence. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to pursue confidence first. We're going to break out of our shell and not worry so much about how things sound. And in the process of this, we may discover a few things that we can do. I should say you may discover a few things that you could do that we would never really discover by trying to hit a certain note or becoming better at singing a certain thing. In other words, we're just going to cut loose, provide ourselves with a little bit of rhythm and harmony, and see what happens. I'm going to tell you right now that this way of practicing has been the single most beneficial way to discover what my voice can actually do. You know, you hear great vocalists, some of the greatest vocalists of all time. Steven Tyler said it. Chris Cornell has said it. Adele has said it. They say that one of the number one things you can do for your voice is just get in a room and let loose and see what it can do. So I'm going to demonstrate how I've done that in the past as a way to kind of show you that this is not only okay, it is one of the greatest things you can ever do to truly get in touch with your voice. And it's going to instill a confidence in you. If you can do this behind closed doors, with your own guitar, with your own instrument, and then take some of this feeling and this empowerment that you get from this out to your singing and your gigs or on a recording project, I'm telling you, it's going to happen. So I'm going to choose the following phrases. Get on back, look towards the sunset. I'm going to use those words, and I'm just going to muse on them. And I'm not even going to start out by singing. I'm just going to play a rhythm, and this rhythm could be arbitrary. I'm going to choose E for now. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Remember, confidence. We're not going for a certain melody. We're not going for anything like that. We're just going for, we're going to push. We're going to, throw out all insecurities and make something sound loud. This is going to involve yelling. This is going to involve being rhythmically goofy. It's going to involve being very goofy, but you can do it. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Yeah! Get on back, look towards the sunset. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Look towards the sunset. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Yeah! Get on back, look towards the sunset. 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 Yeah! Oh! Oh! Now, you might think that sounds really stupid. It might. But that is fine. What I'm doing is I'm increasing in intensity, I'm using my voice intensely, and I'm not thinking about pitch. I don't care what I'm hitting. All I care about is that my guitar and my voice are matching intensity, that I'm getting in to the same aura of sound with my guitar that I am with my voice. Now, I'm going to take that same level, now that I'm fully aware of what kind of intensity I'm bringing to the table with my voice without pitch, I'm going to start bringing pitch into the fold. That might sound like this. Get on back, get on back, get on back. Look towards the sunset, 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 look towards the sunset, get on back. Get on back. Look. Just chose 2 notes. They weren't hard notes for me to hit. They were notes that I could hit and maintain, borrow from that same intensity that I stumbled upon when I was just yelling, when I was just getting into it with my guitar. This can be taken further and further until you start put a scale in there. For example, good old-fashioned minor pentatonic. La 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 la. There's no pressure to hit all of the notes. Just use that as a musing, in addition to this phrase that we're doing. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Yeah. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Whoa, yeah. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Whoa. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Whoa. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Get on back. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Get on back, look towards the sunset. It's going to sound how it's going to sound, and you have very little control over it, especially when you start to do this. But as you practice this way, as you work this way with your voice, you're going to start to get out of your shell. You have to. Every performer you like to listen to when it comes to vocals has gotten out of the shell, and this is a way to do that. This is a way that a lot of people have done that. So the one other thing I like to add these pauses where it gives me a chance to, like the end of a song where it's like this. And there's this like, and everybody's like, guitar players, and the vocalist is like, yeah, there's this pause at the end, right before that last, that people really get a chance to cut loose. So if we were at like an 8 on some of our musings earlier, these pauses are a chance to go to like a 10 and really push yourself and just see what you can do. You might crack, you might sound terrible. Fine. It's not about how it sounds. It's about breaking out of your this cage that you're in, this lack of confidence cage, and embracing whatever comes out. Don't laugh at yourself. Give yourself credit for trying, and do this over and over again until you are unashamed of how you sound. Don't approach it as though you must sound great first. Get the confidence by doing this, and let the sound happen over time as you continue to do this. So let me demonstrate some of those end of song pauses. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Yeah, look towards the sunset. Yeah. Another one. We'll do it in a different key. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Get on back, look towards the sunset. Oh, get on back, get on back, get on back, get on back. It truly is by locking yourself in a room and practicing just like this over and over again that you not only discover how your voice works, but you also give yourself ample bandwidth to fail when it doesn't matter. Get confidence, get loud, get silly, take risks, learn to push the limits of your voice, and then as you do this over time, as you practice this way over time and you get used to the way your voice feels, you're going to be supremely confident when you go out and actually sing for other people. If you haven't done this, you can't truly embrace confidence when you sing. This right here is the most important lesson you will ever learn as a vocalist. And I hope that you take it to heart. Let me know what you think. And let me know if you have any questions. I'll do more videos based on your guys' questions. We'll see you for more. Hey, Chris Liepe here, helping you work on your voice, your guitar playing, your musical ear. And in this video, I want to address a question that I get a lot. How do I develop endurance with my singing voice? Or the similar question would be, why do I get tired so quickly when I try to sing? And how can I get over that hump so that I can sing as long as I want to without destroying my voice or without feeling really tired? Now, I have to start out by saying that the voice is made up of a lot of different muscles, and all those muscles working together are led by your mind. So there's a lot of different components coming together and doing very specific things to generate the sound that we hear that happens with our voice. So there's not a simple light switch approach, well, I am tired and flip the switch and now I'm not tired after I sing for a while. Developing endurance with your voice is very similar to developing endurance or developing strength when it comes to exercising, because we're using muscles, we're using our mind. It's the same sort of thing. Except there's this added component that we're making music with it. And there's also sorts of emotions and feelings associated with what we're doing with our voice. So if you're trying to develop endurance and sing for longer periods of time, or you're trying to even sing at all and not feel tired or hoarse afterward, you have to understand that it's a process. It's a longer-term commitment that you have to be ready to make. And if you're towards the beginning of your journey with wanting to sing, I strongly encourage you to join my Free Your Voice course that's free by clicking the link below. And this is going to help you get started off on the right foot when it comes to basic singing mechanics, when it comes to feeling which muscles we should be engaging and how to engage those muscles. Because if you're engaging your muscles incorrectly and trying to develop endurance, you're not going to be able to do that. You're going to get tired, and you're going to continue to get tired simply because you're just singing incorrectly and you're not using the muscles in the way that they were designed to be used for singing. So do yourself a favor and get things set up so that you can sing correctly first, and then what we're doing in this video is going to help immensely. So as I said earlier, developing endurance with your singing voice is very much like regular old exercise. If you're going to train to run a marathon, you want to develop exercises and routines that help you train up to that 27 or so miles. Anybody who's training for a marathon will tell you that they don't go out and run 27 miles a day to train for their marathon. They are starting with very short exercise routines and then gradually working up to being able to run that distance. Same with other forms of exercise like strength training. If you're wanting to get stronger to play basketball, for example, and you develop a weight routine, you're not doing the exact same things that you are doing in basketball to strengthen your body. You have a set of exercises. You have a routine that builds overall strength so that you can go out and execute with basketball. Now, I'm going to say this, and if you've been watching this channel, you already know this about me. I hate exercises when it comes to singing. Those traditional exercises that I was taught in traditional voice lessons never worked for me. They introduced tension. They made me feel insecure about my voice. So when I'm training, when I'm conditioning my voice to be able to sing for long periods of time and developing endurance, the things that I do, while you could still classify them as exercises, I consider them to be, we'll call them musical snippets that help me train. So what I'm going to introduce to you today is one of the ways that I have been able to condition my voice to last longer. I've been able to develop endurance as well as improve my articulation and range and pretty much everything about my voice by taking this approach to practicing. And I'm not going to call it an exercise. I'm going to call it a mini song or a song snippet. I always try to be musical in everything that I practice, particularly with my voice. I want to be able to sing for longer periods of time. The irony of this whole thing is I actually want to practice this type of thing for a very short period of time, but I want to do it regularly. Every day for 5 minutes is a great way to start doing this sort of thing. You don't want to go longer because you want to gradually build strength. Just like with weight training or running, you start small and you do it frequently, and our body responds. Here's the melody. Oh, I'm starting in E. Start in the middle of your range, not oh. We don't want to start all the way down there. Oh. Now, I like to immediately find a word that makes it feel more musical to me and then assign rhythm with my guitar. You don't have to use your guitar. You could use a piano and get your pitch. I like to use a guitar because I like to strum along and do this in a way that I can connect to my instrument. Oh. Now I'm gonna use a word now. I'm gonna use the word fly. Fly, which has the underlying vowel on the sustaining portion of ah, right? Fly. Then I'm transitioning to the E vowel. It's more real world. It helps me warm up in a way that is less concerned about pronouncing a vowel right or whatever, and more concerned about just singing. Fly, fly, go up, fly, fly. switch up my word. Grow. Grow. Now, you want to go up from the middle of your range until you feel like you are starting to get to that point where if you went any more, you would be straining. Now, there's all sorts of ways to take this exact same exercise and use it as a way to practice expanding your range. We're not going to do that right now. We want to go up to where we're starting to get uncomfortable, and then we want to work back down to our middle of our range where we started, and then start going just a little bit lower. And then you want to do the same thing in the other direction, all for about 5 minutes a day. Doing a melody like this, it's a bit of a rangy melody where we're not just singing a scale, da 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 da. You know, we're not doing that. La 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 la. There's some jumps, there's some incremental things, so it works portions of your range at a time, and then you're going up or down and working a slightly different portion. So this little melody is really handy. It's a great way to work on vocal endurance, but here's the key. We're working on vocal endurance, so we're working in the comfortable middle of our range. Not too low, not too high. If we start going too low and too high within this context, we will start to introduce unconscious tension because we're trying to shoot for notes or we're trying to, practice going lower or whatever. We don't want to do that. We want to work comfortably here because we are training our muscles gradually in our voice to go tension-free for longer periods of time. So we want to be in that groove. We want to be in that vibe. If you push too low or too high, you cheat yourself out of the opportunity to exercise your muscles in the comfortable range, in the comfortable way that they need to be existing over longer periods of time. So pick a handful of words, take this melody. Get into a musical vibe and work the middle area of your range for 5 minutes a day in your chest resonance voice. We don't, for this particular thing, for endurance training, this is where we want to start. We don't want to be up. We don't want to be down. We want to be right in the middle. And we want to be going back and forth. You might go up and down a number of times within your 5 minutes. Once you feel like you've done that daily for quite a while, you can push it up to 10 minutes a day, depending on what else you're doing with your voice. And that gets into vocal budgeting and all sorts of other things that are really beyond the scope of what we're doing right here. But again, I encourage you to join my free vocal course if you're interested in taking your voice to another level. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you like what I'm teaching here, and be sure to leave your questions and comments below. See you for more. Hey everybody, Chris Liepe here, helping you discover ways to make music with your voice, with your guitar, and using some cool technology as well. I've spent a lot of time so far on this channel urging people who are learning to sing not to try to imitate other people's singing, but instead to be yourself, to focus on feel, how your voice feels when it comes out, rather than trying to get a specific sound that you've heard that you like. And so I thought I'd do a video on how to find your own sound without the distraction of having someone else's sound looming. This is going to help you be less judgmental about your own voice, and it's going to help center you on what your voice is designed to sound like. Getting caught up in trying to sound like someone else is the first point of failure for most singers. It ends in discouragement, it ends in constant comparison, and ultimately it breeds fear and discontentment with something that could be very, very good as soon as you learn to embrace what you have in your own voice. So I'm going to give you a very simple roadmap in this video for doing that, for discovering your own sound. If you want to go beyond this and find out what your voice can really do, be sure to join my free singing course listed below. So here's the roadmap where we're going to start. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to find something that is not a song, that we can't attach our expectations of how something should sound, and we're going to create our own little small song, and we're going to muse on it with our voice and our favorite instrument. Maybe it's not guitar, you can use piano, or you can just put on some meditation music that has some sort of pitch and try it if you don't play an instrument. But I'm going to use guitar. And so I just found this ad that we got in the mail, and I'm going to take these words. Any new concrete installation project, save 10%. So this has no baggage for me when it comes to how I should sound when I sing this. I just have to make something up. Trust me, I'm going somewhere with this. So I'm going to just choose, I'm going to choose that. But I'm going to start by actually closing my mouth, and I'm going to think the words as I hum. I'm actually thinking those words. I don't know if that's the melody I want to use yet. Let's do some rhythm. Need another chord in there. What I'm doing by thinking the words and humming is I am isolating one particular aspect of my singing voice. I'm just working on pitch. I'm not working on pronouncing any words. And when I tend to imitate other people, one of the main things that I tend to imitate is how I perceive them pronouncing their vowels, which I'm usually wrong when I'm doing that. But that creeps in. So how do they say that word? How are they doing that? I'm getting rid of that temptation by only thinking about the words and then coming up with something pitch-wise and rhythmic-wise that might work. So I've found my words, I've established a pitch and a rhythm, I've hummed them while thinking of them, and the last thing I'm going to keep in mind while I'm doing this is I want to make sure that I am very relaxed from here up. Especially when you're humming, I'm thinking words in my head, there's a tendency to do that. Relax. Think about the words. Relax. Now, what I'm doing is I'm actually singing this now. Any new concrete installation project, save 10%. Save 10%. Any new concrete installation project, save 10%. Save 10%. Now, when you go from humming it to making actual words over the pitch and over the rhythm that you've come up with, you want to maintain that relaxed state from here up. Don't tense anything. Make sure you're pushing from your lower abdominal muscles primarily. So because we weren't starting with an actual song, we weren't trying to imitate someone else's song, someone else's melody, because we came up with it ourselves, we were being original from the very beginning. We have no expectations of what it's supposed to sound like. This is helping you discover what your voice can do without the influence of someone else's singing, behind your back, looking over your shoulder. Now that we've come this far, we can decide, is that the right key? I've come up with my melody. I've come up with my rhythm. Maybe it needs to be in a different key. Maybe it will actually work with my voice better. Let's try something. So we were any new concrete installation project, save 10%. Save 10%. Save 10%. Yeah! We were there. Wonder if we went to G. So we got to take this. Any new concrete installation project. And it's good for ear training too. And da 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 da. It's a fifth. So da da. Any new concrete. We're modulating to G. So we want to go from G to B flat to F-ish. Any new concrete installation project, save 10%. Save 10%. Yeah! Any new concrete installation project, save 10%. Save 10%. Save 10%. Any new concrete installation project, save 10%. Save 10%. Save 10%. Yeah, save 10%. Any new concrete installation project, save 10%. Save 10%. Save 10%. So there you go. Kind of a songwriting thing, as well as a way to discover your own voice without the pressures of other factors that we talked about. What are they again? Choose a random ad or something you're not emotionally attached to at all. Internalize those words. Any new concrete installation project, save 10%. And then go to the guitar or whatever instrument, come up with a melody. Hum the melody first while thinking the words, maintaining complete relaxedness and not worrying about pronouncing the words, so that we introduce the melody into our heads, we introduce the rhythm into our playing, into our voice, without worrying about the pronunciation of vowels and trying to imitate someone else while we're doing that. Then add the words in, go to town on it for a while, and experiment with key. See where you can be most passionate and most comfortable with what you're doing. This was a fun video to make. I hope it's fun for you to watch and learn from. If you have any questions, be sure to leave those questions or comments below. Be sure to subscribe if you like what you're seeing, and I'll see you for more.
Healthy vocal distortion comes from properly placed and managed compression, holding back air while using proper support. But a lot of singers have trouble holding back air and placing that correctly as they go higher, particularly up into what they feel like is a mixed voice. We end up clamming up or seizing up when we try to go too high with this holding back or compressing air approach. Bear with me here. First, think super thin, high, and whiny. Just make the highest, whiniest, thinnest voice that you can. It might start really head voicey, but we're gonna be more whiny and brash with it. Up here, like this, just talk.
I love you, oh loves. Do you have those? Do you wanna share them with me? I love you, oh loves. Oh, do you have those? I'd like to share mine with you. Can we share? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate?